Good morning, everybody. Game time, Brian, otherwise known as the mailman, bringing you my morning chat from my mama's basement. Not really, but you get the idea of where I'm going with this. Time to have some hot coffee, turn on the lights, and get this show started. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, wake up, wake up, wake up. Well, we got a good little show this morning. I hope that everybody's having a wonderful day here. Here it's rainy and miserable. I'm glad to have the day off. I do work the next 4 days, out most of it out in the rain. So stay tuned for that fun content. That's the life of being a mailman. So getting right down to it, I'm going to cover some league news first, and then we will go into Dak Prescott, which is ultimately where this video is headed, and the main information, and we'll go to some video. But before we do, today is March 5th. We are 6 days away. Next Monday, legal tampering at 12 noon. What that allows is that allows agents to talk to front offices to hammer out a deal. As of right now, we're still over the cap. I feel like Stephen Jones is just messing with everybody. I think he's doing this on purpose. It's like, yo, bro, we spent a lot of money on you and your organization. At least you could do is get us a little bit of hope instead of walking back everything that your daddy said. That's kind of embarrassing look on the Cowboys, if you ask me. Inside their little bubble, they think that we're all being absolutely ridiculous and reading into the all in, and they're just pulling our chain again. The numbers tell me different. They need to do some moves. They are just stuck in this old 1990s way of thinking where you don't discuss any of that, but in not discussing any of your business, you're discussing your business by going on the bus, Jerry, and saying that Dak doesn't necessarily need a new contract. This person doesn't necessarily need. Everybody's on 1-year deals. That's kind of lame. That's a lame way of doing things. That's not a good way of doing things. And you're bargaining against your player through your media. The player sees right through it, and we'll get to that. But my first order of business is I want to discuss Jason Kelce. Yes, Jason Kelce. Let me move my camera over to here. How does that look? There we go. There it is. Jason Kelce. He retired. I'm just going to read this. 13 NFL seasons. He's had a hell of a career. 13 NFL seasons, 6 all-pro seasons. Most by... Now, all 6 of his all-pro seasons came at the age of 30 or higher. That's pretty incredible. He was... Not that he wasn't a good player, but if you heard his retirement send off yesterday from the NovaCare facility in South Philly, he got better with age, let's say. With Jeff Stoutland as the offensive line coach, I'm going to give it to him. He's the best offensive line coach in the league. I'm going to keep it real, people. I am a Cowboy fan, but you got to call greatness when you see it. Jason Kelce was a late bloomer, I would say. He struggled early on, but man, did he find his groove. And that just goes to show you, it doesn't matter if you're the biggest guy. If you work on your technique and work hard, anything's possible. Let's see here. Let's see. Most by any over. Yeah, okay. Kelce and Dwight Stevenson are the only players in the Super Bowl era to earn 3 consecutive first-team All-Pro, and 3 first-team Pro Bowl nominations at the age of 30. That's pretty impressive. Very, very impressive. Jason Kelce, hell of a career. You did get to the top once. Cheers to you, my man. I know there's great things waiting for you. As a Cowboy fan, I'm actually glad to see you go into retirement because, man, you were a handful. So, Jason Kelsey, um, definitely, you were a handful. Next order of business. It's absolutely crazy to me. Crazy that Russell Wilson has been released by the Denver Broncos. I didn't think that the Sean Payton Russell Wilson marriage was going to last very long. When Sean took the job, he knew that was the one hurdle that he had was Russell Wilson. And he was stuck with that albatross of a contract. They are going to take an $85 million dead cap hit. They are in the market for a quarterback. Should be interesting to see where they go. They'll probably draft a young one. Look out for Michael Penix Jr., in my opinion. I haven't done a mock in a while. I'm letting it breathe a little bit, so to speak. But yeah, they'll probably bring in a veteran to compete. But it'll be interesting because I'm hearing rumors that I don't buy this rumor at all. I do not buy this rumor. Kirk Cousins to Atlanta? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Atlanta's going to want to pay the price. Kirk Cousins is probably the smartest guy ever in how he operates his contract. He's made more money than anybody I could think of with these contracts. But I think Kirk Cousins should go back to Minnesota. Minnesota should draft a young one. You should. Whether it's J.J. McCarthy or not, his stock is skyrocketing. Way too many quarterbacks are drafted in the first round that probably shouldn't be. Nothing against J.J. McCarthy. I love J.J. McCarthy. Just don't think he's a first-round quarterback. But he'll get drafted in the first round, so really doesn't matter what I think. Need usually elevates themselves at the top, and quarterbacks are way over-evaluated and elevated. So Kirk Cousins to Atlanta is heating up. I don't buy it. I just don't buy the fact that Kirk Cousins is going to Atlanta. But let me know what you think. I think he's coming back to Minnesota. Justin Jefferson's already on record saying if you don't bring back Kirk Cousins, then I'm not re-signing long term. Again, another team who's not making much sense. Do you not want Justin Jefferson? I mean, you're letting people go in droves. You got a young receiver who's arguably the number one receiver in the league. You can draft a young one, but you're just going to give the young one the reins, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. So look out for the Kirk Cousins thing. Things are going to start heating up as we approach next Monday. Next Thursday is the start of free agency, 4 o'clock Eastern, March 13th. I will be live streaming. Don't know how long, probably a while. Probably come on maybe an hour prior to. I'm going to see if I can get a Zoom call going for a little bit with everybody, if you guys want to hop in. And then maybe for an hour or so. I don't know. I'm going to think about that. Let me marinate on that. Let me know what you think. If you guys want to join me in a little trade free agent frenzy. But we'll see. I'll probably have some guests on. We'll probably be on for a while. We'll probably let it roll for a few hours. Next order of business, Mike Evans signs a 2-year, $52 million deal to stay in Tampa Bay. There were a lot of teams in on Mike Evans. I think they realized that. He gets $35 million guaranteed, which is all you really need to know. It's a 2-year, $35 million. He's going to get all that, but there's incentives and stuff in there. Basically, the $35 million is at least is what he's going to get. And that's great. That's what, 17.5 mil a year, right? 17, 10, 27. Yeah. 36.5, something like that. So Mike Evans cashing in. I expect Baker Mayfield to be brought back, even though I'm not a huge Baker Mayfield fan. They did have a great year and made the playoffs and beat the Eagles. Yes, they beat the Birds in the playoffs. Actually blew them out. So just want to remind my Eagle fans about that. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, and that's going to be Tyron Smith. I'm hearing a lot of teams in on Tyron now that Tyron's able to go out and be a free agent and he's going to test the market. I got news for you. I don't believe we've necessarily seen the end of Tyron Smith. I think Tyron could very well be brought back. I think Tyron's going to realize that he's not going to get the deal that he necessarily believes. But I could be wrong. There's a lot of money out there. And let me know, everybody let me know in the chat if you think, leave a comment. Do you think he's gone for 100%? Or do you think there's a shot that we're going to bring him back? Tyron's going to say, you know what? Do I want to go to New England? Tyron, if you can sign a 3-year deal, you're still relatively young. I believe you're 32. Go get the highest money. I would advise you as your agent to go for the highest bidder right now. If it's close, then fine, come back. But we're not offering you a multi-year deal. I don't think the door is closed, but I think another team with all this money, like the Patriots, over $100 million in cap space, is going to throw. And that's fine. I'd rather him go outside of the division rather than outside of the conference rather than end up in New York or something like that. So, or God forbid he ends up with the Washington left-hand up Commanders. So, anyway, let's get to Dak Prescott. The elephant in the room, right? The elephant in the room with Dak is a newly father. Last week, MJ, as we call the new baby. MJ, I'm excited for Dak Prescott and his family. Again, it's amazing to me how everybody goes on and on about Dak and they don't think, and you're totally have a right to your own opinion, man. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments. Leave them down below and I will get back to you. We don't have to agree, people. That's what makes this country great. But I don't know how you can look at his record. He's 2-5 in the playoffs. I get it. Numbers wise, he's one of the best. He's going to go down especially if he signs a new deal, he's going to own every Cowboy record. He needs a Super Bowl. I guarantee. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and try and couch it and say he don't need a Super Bowl. No. He needs a Super Bowl to cement his legacy. And I don't know if he's going to get that. That's a team thing. I don't like where our front office, I'm going to say it again, we do have a culture problem. It's not with the players. It's with the front office. So believe me when I tell you, the front office needs to change what they're doing. But again, everybody's on a 1-year deal, supposedly. Jerry says he doesn't close the door on re-signing the coaching staff long term. I actually think there's a chance that this happens. I think he's putting everybody on edge for a little bit. I think maybe during the training camp, you may see something happen. We'll see how this team is put together, okay? But I'm going to play you a series of clips. First one is going to be is Jerry Jones discrediting Dak's success last season? First thing I'm going to do is play this. This is from ESPN Get Up. Well, that's not it. Well, now. Hold on a sec. There we go. I got it. Let's listen. I'll listen. It's a minute and a half because it's a little shy of 2 minutes. Let's see what they got to say.
A couple of things. First of all, it cracks me up. We're going to give credit to the coach who a couple of weeks ago we weren't going to extend, right? So that juxtaposition to me is fascinating. But fundamentally, Dak Prescott's in the prime of his career, Greeny. He's going to be 31. He has a lot of great years. And if we're winning the Cowboys, guys, what I'm saying to each and one of you, if not Dak, then who? Get the deal done. Pay the bill.
It's you can't live like that.
Really? Because the alternative is a lot worse. I can give you about
you can't live like that.
That would give their left
Dan,
leg
you're lousy.
to have Dak Prescott as the quarterback.
At $60 million?
Not at 60.
Well, okay.
Yeah, wait a second.
That's the market. Jalen Hurts is making 51 and a half.
Next year, he'd be the first quarterback in the history of that organization to play for someone else.
On a banana peel and the other one out the door.
Troy Aikman did it. Danny White did it.
Yeah, I know.
Meredith
Leave
did
it in the
Roger
comments.
Staubach did it. So are the Cowboys really going to let him walk? Are they really going to roll that dice?
Right, and again, to me, what's going to force that decision, guys, like who are you going to go with? Trey Lance? Or are you going to bring in Zach Wilson, try to resurrect him? Like, they're not going to be in the top 5.
Okay, the Cowboys don't have a culture problem, right? You don't win 12 games in a row, 3 years in a row, and have a culture problem, correct?
Correct.
That's fair?
Correct. There's a lot of different ways you can slice that apart. Yeah.
They have a championship, so...
I disagree with that because some of the things they're saying on social media about Dak Prescott doesn't happen in other places.
There's also a wide delta between Dak Prescott and let's go get Zach Wilson. I mean, there's some space in between those two things.
The way they look at it, the way the Cowboys look at it, Tony Romo was undrafted. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick.
Right.
They think they can find these guys.
I
mean, like, that's their last, decade and a half.
But they're going to just remain good.
But their championships were all won with Roger Staubach, who won the Heisman, and Troy Aikman, who was the first pick in the draft.
They would point out that having Dak Prescott hasn't helped them clear that bar either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. I don't know about that. I don't. All right, so we heard that part of it. We heard what ESPN, the Get Up, had to say, and what Dan Orlovsky, and I believe that was Mike Tannenbaum, used to be a general manager in multiple places. He seems to know what he's talking about. You can't move on. Now, you can, but you will be taking a step back. Now, listen, if we're taking a step back, then why bring them back for 1 year at all? That's the crux of what I'm saying. But let's watch Dak Prescott now. And this is right after his baby's born, a little less than a week. He was at his cancer fundraiser where Aikman and Roger Staubach had gotten him involved a few years ago. Dak Prescott's mother died of cancer, so it's near and dear to his heart. Let's hear what Dak Prescott has to say about his feeling with staying with the Cowboys and Jerry Jones and the all-in BS. So let's see what he has to say about that. This should be interesting. Culture, talking culture.
Yeah, the culture's high, honestly, and the culture's great from my standpoint. And I say that
I like the new look, man. Little goatee action.
So I
you don't have any gray like game time.
I don't know good, bad, or whatever. I've heard some, but I can't. You guys know of anybody. I'm not the one listening, and I'm trying not to. So, but my point is, that's something I've always bragged on and took pride in. So if there's questions,
Children's Cancer Fund, shout out.
That, I feel attacked. I'm sure some guys in the locker room do. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and the way that this business plays out, people don't get exactly what they wanted. There's always sourness, I guess you can say, somewhere. And
listen, man, when you lose in the first round of the playoffs, this is what happens.
When Jerry says all in, what does that mean to you?
All in, baby.
When he says all in on next year?
Yeah. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah, I'm excited to see it, honestly. I don't know. I can't say I've had talks with him about what is all in and how you plan on making those moves. So, but yeah, let's see. I'm excited for it.
Any concerns?
Say again?
How hopeful are you that you can get a deal?
Yeah, I'm definitely confident. Obviously, it helps the team. It's important for the numbers. So I think it's Jerry. I've heard Jerry said that. Tad helped me over here and told me that part, right? That that is a process. Both sides understand that. Everything's great, and it'll happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
MJ, right?
Yeah, so basically, this is going to happen, people. I've told you from the get this is going to happen. Dak Prescott's going to be extended. Now, you may not like that, but one thing is for damn sure, we're going to win 10 games next year. We may not win a division. I got lit up. A shout out to SSL TV. Bro, we got a little heated. This is what this team does to us. I got nothing but love for people out there who are going to take their time out of their day to talk Cowboys with me. So, that's just what it is. Walker Wade, shout out to Walker Wade, another man who corrected me with the wins back in the 90s, and I should know. I actually watched it. Walker Wade, you were 5 years old, so shout out to Walker Wade. But what I was trying to get at, and I think I made my point clear, all this is typical the Cowboy offseason BS. They got us talking about it. I just want to calm everybody down. I got people saying they like the positive. I try and bring the positive to everything that I do, but in saying that, I have to keep it 100. I have to keep it real, whether I talk about the Cowboys or the Eagles or the Commanders. If I'm just saying right here, right today, I think the Commanders win the division. That's right now. This is before free agency. This is before the draft. This is before OTAs. This is before training camp. This is before all of that. So when I sit here today and I see that the Commanders have $120-some million under the cap, I see they have a new energy, okay, with Dan Quinn. I'm not saying they're going to go farther than Dallas. That's all I was trying to tell Walker Wade, SSL TV. I was trying to tell them that I don't care. Yes, do I want a division? Absolutely, I do. But if I know now, if I know that my team is going to be playing unbelievable going into the playoffs, okay, let's say we get out to a slower start based on schedule, 500 start after 6 games or something, 7 games, and then we get hot, and then we are that team. We don't win a division, but we're that team going into the playoffs. Well, then that's all that I want. I want to play good in the playoffs. That's the only frustrating part about where we're at as an organization, okay, is that it's about the playoffs now. We expect you to do well and get to the playoffs. It's not like a lot of teams, okay? And I know the Eagles, listen, before I get out of this video, I talked about it yesterday. Jason Kelce, yeah, you have a body to slide in there to play. Okay, I get it. He will not be as good as a first ballot Hall of Famer, Jason Kelce. It's not going to happen. And the way you ended your season last year, we have to see what the Eagles do in free agency. Because if they go out and get C.J. Gardner-Johnson, if they go out and get Patrick Queen, they're going to have to re-extend Devontae Smith. We'll see how they allot their funds. Let's see what they do in the draft. They got a lot of bullets. Yeah, could they win a division? Yes, they could. But they're the team who lost, 7 out of 8? They're the team that yesterday during the press conference, Jason Kelce alluded to snowflakes, and you have to want to play in Philadelphia, and the fans will boo you when you do bad, but when you do good, they praise you. And if you win in Philly, you'll never have to buy a beer in your life in the city. That's just the mentality of it. Sometimes it gets overblown, but A.J. Brown, he was talking to you. A lot of the younger guys, he was talking to you. The media is doing their job, okay? I wish the Dallas media was a little more like the Philly media when it comes to not sniffing the crotches of the owners. They will tell you how it is. They will call it out. Sometimes they'll go overboard and they'll go nuts with things that they do or say, but I'd rather have that than all of our reporters asking softball questions. Hey, Jerry, I really like your tie. Are you going to have it up on the Dallas Cowboys fan shop? Come on, dude. Let's just ask why. Why that we fail to do what other teams that have won the Super Bowl in recent years, going all in, actually spending money in free agency. Yeah, it's going to cost you in the end. But if the fans and the team get a Super Bowl championship, I'm good with it. I'm good. But anyway, I'm going to end on a positive. I think we're going to do some moves in free agency. We have to. We don't have enough draft picks. I think this is all negotiation tactics. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Saying that, I will do a 2 o'clock lunchtime chat live from the man cave. Please join me. We'll go as long as the chat is lively. I'm off today. It's rainy. I got to do some stuff around the house, do a load of laundry. But other than that, I'm here to chat. Now, we do have a programming alert. Me and my partner, Primetime Phil, we're going to do 2 shows a week, 2 live streams a week. So over and above what I do, I'm going to do a live stream on Wednesday nights, Hump Day Live with Game Time and Prime Time right here. And then we're going to do a live stream, our typical live stream on Primetime Phil with all the bells and whistles, produced by Primetime Studios, starting Saturday. So it'll be fun. We're going to start getting some guests on. We'll surprise you. How's that? But either way, don't forget, 2 o'clock Eastern, Game Time Brian, lunchtime chat. Everybody, I hope you have a good day. I will talk to you in a few short hours. Late.